let's get on to the lines and speak with Coach Christopher Nimley and what he makes out of this evening's game. Hello, Coach. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
I cannot say I'm fine. It's hard for me to. But are you fine yourself?
Oh, I'm very fine because I'm not surprised about what has happened. Because, I mean, I work with you. We sit on the same platform. We say things in a very frank, honest, analytical manner. And I'm not surprised at all. I mean, if you ask Gabby will tell you that I'm not sure Gabby is even surprised. Because, look, when it is that very obvious, and you tend to move away from the obvious, you will receive the shock of your life. For me, I have said since day one, our people are dishonest. Our people are so much concerned about using the black stars as a cash cow, and therefore, when we see the obvious untruth, instead of us to point it out and do everything practically possible to stop it from happening, we are rather told that after some time, we should support the wrong. And I've always said, I don't support blindly. My support is so precious to me. And I will not be part of an embarrassment that goes beyond measure. So, my brother, I'm not surprised at all.
Great. Your general impression about the game, what you saw in first half, that which we were unable to, say, do, or probably maybe our composure were unable to keep in the second half. Your general impression of the first and second.
All right. Look, in the first 45 minutes, if you ask me, Tankwa, I kept calling him after every 5 to 10 minutes. And I was looking at him critically. And I was asking myself, this is not the Black Stars of Ghana. The Black Stars of Ghana that some of us have fallen in love with, that made some of us so proud to be Ghanaian outside of this country. This cannot be our Black Stars. We couldn't put up a sustained tempo to whatever we're doing. We couldn't do that. We couldn't pass the ball around for close to 2 minutes. There were several moments in the game where we couldn't even construct 3 or 4 passes together, especially in the attacking third, and then we give the ball away. So we were just not up to, again, we were hoping and praying that somebody would step up individually. We're looking up to Kudus. We're looking up to a player like Joseph Pencil. So true to what some of us knew would be the only way forward, Joseph Pencil, who had a very tough game against the left back, but the young man is a smart player. He's versatile. He can play on the right, he can play on the left. So he saying that, look, it's been very difficult here. Let me go and try my luck on the other side of it. And the moment he got there, I'm sure the right back of Mozambique was used to having the battle against Jordan Ayew. So he thought Joseph Pencil was Jordan Ayew. By the time he realized the footwork and the swiftness and the pace, the speed of Pencil was too much for him. So out of nothing, we got ourselves a penalty. Credit to Jordan Ayew, slotted him beautifully. We have our destiny in our hands. But there were moments in that first half of the game. I listened to y'all, and all his summary was absolutely spot on, where he kept saying that if the Mozambicans were a little bit clinical up front, it would cause us a lot of problems. But there were moments where I think they tend to pass the ball too many times. The shot was there. It was there to be striked, but they wouldn't do that. So again, we were able to go past that first half, having our destiny in our hands. Then it came to the technical team. I couldn't believe what I saw. I could not. If you are given a player who's played 31 minutes of football and you are asking him to play 45 minutes of football, a time will come, he's going to get gassed. He's going to get gassed out. He's going to pant for breath. I couldn't believe it. Now, in substituting or in effecting a substitution, you took away our best attacking player. The only player who could create something out of nothing alongside Mohamed Kudus. You substituted him. So it then meant that anything we do in the attacking sense had to go to Mohamed Kudus. Teams don't play like that. Even in the Argentine team, where Messi seems to be the main man, there's Angel Di Maria. There's the likes of this boy at Manchester City, Fernandes. They've got good players who could get on the ball and change things. We just saw the Egyptians. Everything they do goes past Mohamed Salah. But in the absence of Salah, they found a way out. But you don't limit our options because this team naturally don't have goals. We got 2 penalties today, beautifully slaughtered by Jordan Ayew. Now, look at what he was doing. He was just inviting the Mozambicans onto our team. And you know that mentally, this team is very, very fragile. Defensively, this team is very, very poor. And I think for a team, to help them is to get them to move forward. Because anytime they are put under some form of sustained pressure, they will definitely cave in. They'll break down. So blame the coaches. I couldn't believe them. That job is not Matt Pramakwe's job. Give them the time. You sack the 3 of them. Don't maintain any of them in the job. They've proven to be so much not to be up to the task. But on earth, you take off Mohamed Kudus. The moment you go, okay, we don't have nothing to lose. The day I will not run past any player, he will not do anything in the attacking sense. We can go 1v1 against him. Already he was extremely, very, very tired. Inaki Williams will need some 5-10 minutes to establish a rhythm, to get in sync with the game. So when Inaki came, the entire team was on the defensive. So he was forced to go and defend. Now when you do that, you are inviting your opponent to keep coming at you. Out of nowhere, we consider the penalty. There's a Marty. He's been to several AFCON. Jiku cannot say he's inexperienced. This is Jiku's 2nd AFCON. He's been to the World Cup. Richard Ofori, he's experienced. So none of them, there was Jordan Ayew, none of them could tell the boys, calm down. Look at what he did. When we considered the first goal, and the Mozambicans took the ball to the center line, I thought the Black Stars the team out of the game. But rather, we went forward to go and score a 3rd goal. Now, when we lost the ball, and the ball got into our half, it resulted into an unforgivable corner kick. How on earth could Richard Ofori concede that ball as a corner? Leave the ball alone. Poor communication or poor awareness. He wasn't aware of the situation. We all saw the Mozambican player heading the ball. Richard Ofori, leave it. Kill the steam out of it. What was that? But I'm not surprised because he's not been active. Look, there's one very important thing about a player that is not active. He fails to experience the weekly situation of what football is all about. He's not been in goal. He's not been keeping the post for Orlando Pirates. He's their 3rd choice goalkeeper. He's been on the bench. Did you look at him? His handling, his punching of the ball, absolutely kindergarten. Absolutely unacceptable. People say we shouldn't blame him. It's not about blaming him. But when you fall below the standard required, we need to call you out. Just as Inak Williams and Osman Bukari were called out. We need to call you out. So at the end of the day, look, we lost or we failed to qualify because we had a very bad coach. Look, even Richard Olene Kingston, I don't think he should. Look, we should think about having a different goalkeeper trainer because I couldn't believe it. Olene, with all your experience, you opted for a goalkeeper who has been sitting on the bench for close to a year and a half to be our number 1. Whilst we have an active goalkeeper who took us to the World Cup, who has been so integral to the qualification to this tournament, who has been very active week in, week out at club level. You saw Lawrence Ziggy there with all these advantages, and you decided to go for the goalkeeper whose only advantage, I repeat, was the fact that he's been at an AFCON before. Now, who would choose a goalkeeper who's not been active for close to a year and a half? Who would do that? Who would do that? My brother, you will not do that. You will not do that. Look, Sports Panorama is going to be beautiful on Friday. And look, like I said, I pray that we will not go forward. And like I said, this country has a God. The God of Ghana has spoken. If you take the people of this country for granted, I repeat, if you take the people of this country for granted, my goodness, you will see and you will experience what we've all just experienced. No Ghanaian should be broken-hearted. God will be with every Ghanaian. God will strengthen the heart of every Ghanaian. But I can assure them one thing. This, what has happened, is in the best interest of this country. Everybody should gracefully accept it. And let's see whether the football people, the ministry, will come and do the right thing. How can we be supporting the very wrongdoing? How can we be doing that? What sort of country are we? How can we be doing that? The obvious is there. We run away from the obvious. The obvious thing that we need to do. Katokuku has had close to $6 million in 5 years, in 4 years. There's no evidence of the usage of that money. There's no evidence of the usage of that money. Add that to the FIFA World Cup money that has come, for which the FC has been given their fair share. How do we plan like this? How do we move forward like this? That which we did in 2010, that which we did in 2010, 14 years ago, we've stopped it, and the Senegalese are doing it. All our juvenile football is dead. We don't qualify for under 17. We don't qualify for under 20. We don't compete at any juvenile level. And we expect the Black Stars to get better. No. The Senegalese are doing it. The Moroccans, the Cape Verdes, all of them. There's proper transition from juvenile level. I say this to the hearing of every Ghanaian. Since Ketu Kreku took over the reign of Ghana football, we have never played and completed one juvenile season. Every now and then, they say they have under 15 coaches. And they go and select their players belonging to Kurt and his cohort. When I say convert to the Ghana Football Association, the ESCO members, they all have their team. It is only their players who are selected to represent our juvenile team. Look, the depth with which this country, our sports, our football in particular, is being run, we aren't seeing anything yet. The American man will say, you ain't seeing anything yet. If we don't change our orientation, we don't change our culture, we don't change the way we do our things, and go and copy those who are doing the right things for free of charge to bring some form of betterment to whatever we do in football, we should forget about it. This is the West Football Association president are saying. In the 3 major tournaments they've taken us to, we've been booted out in the first round. I have never experienced this before. Since I opened my eyes, God opened my eyes, and I started following football, I've never been embarrassed as a Ghanaian in this format before. So, my brother, I thank you for the opportunity. It's late. On Friday, we will analyze the team tactically, and we'll tell them that some of us, they are not more Ghanaian than we are. Neither are we more Ghanaian than they are. But in the interest of this country, some of us speaks, not only because that is our passion, but we've been educated in the field. We've invested in the field, and we have some good knowledge. And we will not speak for the sake of it, but we will always speak in the interest of Mother Ghana, my brother.
All right, Coach Christopher Nimley, thank you for the solid analysis this evening. Thank you.
God bless you, my brother.
God bless us all.